Hello, and welcome to our channel this evening. This is going to be chapter 1 of our vampire story this month. So we're going to do 4 chapters this month. And yeah, so let's see. I don't know what I'm supposed to say now.
We
But
could start
yes,
by.
thank you to everybody who has subscribed this week. It's been super awesome to watch everybody come in, and I'm glad you're all excited to see us. And yeah, so we'll probably get started.
Would you like us to introduce ourselves?
Yes, I would.
Great.
Go ahead, Gavin.
Okay. Hi, I'm Gavin. Anya and I are the co authors of Children of Midnight Coven, which we are not playing tonight for the first time on stream. And this is original, Old World of Darkness. Yeah, this is the first time I've been a player in, well, since the last time Anya ran a game for us, which was a
Like
little
five
over
years
3 years
ago.
ago. So I'm really excited. I'll be playing Felix, Malkavian, a wealthy socialite, and I'm really excited for it. I'll kick it over to Morningstar to introduce themselves.
Me? Well, I don't think I need much introduction, but I am Morningstar. And this evening I shall be playing Francois, a lusty toreador who, well, manages to get himself into quite a bit of trouble thinking with the wrong head.
Wonderful. Lilith?
Screen name is Lilith. Lilith, I'm playing Charlize tonight, and she is a massive Nosferatu. So, not exactly super sneaky, but we'll see how things go.
Azalin?
Hello, today I am Dahlia. I am Zimitsuki. I like to conquer, I have a little bit of brain rot.
All right. So our group of guys are gonna start out with your blood rolls because I know you guys haven't done that yet. So let's roll and see how much how much blood you guys each have to start off the session with.
Oh. And I've already brought up a picture of an NPC by accident.
And this is just one die.
It is. Let's see what
Right.
Azalwin as Dahlia got.
Of course, I start off hungry.
I'm even hungrier, darling. Ravenous. So, if anyone wants to feed me, you can volunteer now.
Wow. We have all rolled
Where is the victim supply? We need
massively bad. Hang on one sec. Having a technical issue with my period key.
Do you hear that, Victor? We're hungry.
Wow. That is just insane.
I mean, get them all out the way, right? It's
Yeah. We've all been suspect of my dice rollers in the past, but this series of rolls really makes me consider. Yeah, we
Yeah,
are
now
all
that you're one
very
rolling
hungry.
dice.
We're all so thirsty.
Mm-hmm.
But so is Chad.
So, would we like to do some kind of massive hunting expedition, or see if we can all
Well,
feed
you
from the same
have
place?
about an hour before your engagement begins. So if you want to try to do something quick, you need to do it quick.
I suggest we find some ruffians and have a frenzy.
That seems like an awful lot of trouble for something we could get for free.
I'm with Francois. But I
I guess we'll
understand.
take
Find
the easy
someone-
way out.
Looking for a bit of entertainment this evening.
I appreciate the bloodlust, though.
Always.
So you have some herd that you would like to take advantage of?
What?
Yes.
Yeah. I do? Oui.
Are you willing to
But
share
I don't
that?
know if there is quite enough to go around.
Yeah, that's the question.
Well, if one dies, one dies.
I mean, no. These are my girls.
Where are
I
they?
take good care of them.
If you
Where are
say.
they located?
They are all actresses. They'll be at the theater.
I
Well, you're
don't know.
lucky because there just so happens to be a show this evening. So you might be able to pick up some showgoers.
Yeah, that sounds more my speed. If you want to go into the back room of the theater, and we can maybe Dahlia and I can go to the front door, pick off people as they head to the head.
There's usually a pickpocket or two at these things. I'll take one.
Hmm.
Mon Dieu.
Right.
I'm more interested in the ones I can find during halftime or the intermission. 'Cause I need someone who's a little sloshed.
We only have about an hour before we have to get to our event for the evening.
Mm.
Ah, but the girls are going to want to keep me for at least a few.
Maybe you're gonna have to fight to get away. The rest of us have to fight to get our meal. You have to fight to get away from your meal.
They did not appreciate it when I dine and dash.
Dahlia, what do you think about locking the front door with me from the inside? And
I think that's sufficiently malicious. I wonder how many we could chomp before they figure it out.
Yep, I think the two of us have a plan.
Well, let me set the scene for you guys a little bit while you make those rolls for your hunting. So I guess you guys want to, how do you want to go about hunting really quickly before, so we can decide what you're going to roll?
Yeah. You mean Francois and Charlize?
I mean, Francois's going to use his horde. There's not many rolls he needs to do other than,
True.
yeah.
They are very eager.
I'm talking about the other three of you.
Dahlia and I have a plan for the front door, but and we'll be happy to take Charlize with us if they're interested in trying to find a sloshed theater goer.
I mean, it's the theater. Someone's got a Mickey somewhere.
Oh, I'm sure. So yeah, our plan was to go in through the front door, lock it from the inside to prevent people from leaving, and then start picking off people as they head out. Like to the restrooms or anything like that.
Are you not making any effort to conceal what you're doing?
Not at this time.
You're just going to lock the theater door and eat people and
I
cause
mean,
a
not to
panic.
death.
I have obfuscate, so could I potentially do it without people seeing me? Would I be the one locking the doors?
You could possibly use your obfuscate to snatch somebody into the shadows a little bit easier.
And this, my friends, is why it is so very important to have a herd.
Could you just go into the bathroom and lock them in there?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was
A little
thinking.
more private. And just lock them into the bathroom. Maybe there's some in the stalls. They have bad food here.
That makes more sense.
Yeah, I was thinking some stealth.
Yeah. So maybe like a manipulation plus stealth. I
That
think
seems
that
up
would work.
my alley.
Now,
Let's do that. Let's let you guys make a manipulation plus stealth roll and see how you do.
and while you do that, I will find the code for my mouse because it has stopped working.
All right, I'll start. What's the difficulty?
I'm gonna go with 7.
Okay. There's me. That is 1 success with a 7. And a Zalwyn.
Sorry. Period and the number is the manipulation number or the stealth number?
The two
Both
added
of them
together.
together.
Oh,
And don't forget, if you have a specialization, it may apply.
Can count as twice. If it counts. Yeah, it applies.
Just make sure to okay it with the storyteller. So, wow, Dahlia, that looks like 3 successes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
That is an exceptional roll, and that's not even considering your obfuscate. What's that? That's also 3 successes. Or 4, because it's target number 6.
We are hungry. We are on mission. We want to eat food now.
So it looks like I get the short end of the stick. I only got 1 success. Do you
have
want
to
me
watch
to?
the door while we eat first.
Do you want
So
to describe that?
are you going to how many blood points do you want to take from these people?
I'm good with 3. I think that'll sate me for the night.
What is the max of this blood point?
10 will definitely kill someone. 7 will almost definitely kill them. 6, it could take them months to recover. 1 to 2, they'll generally be completely fine. And anything in between is varying amounts of severe damage.
I was considering 5.
Wow.
They might be a little tired coming out of here.
So the number we're picking is how high up we want to go, or the number of our successful things that we're picking?
You were picking how many blood points you want to take from
your
this
victim.
human that you're feeding from. Because you all succeeded in feeding. So now you get to decide, do you want to just take enough to cause them some dizziness, or do you want to just flat out kill them? Or anything in between.
I'll go for a 5, I guess.
All right.
Okay. So, what it sounds like happened, Gavin, because you got a little bit lower of a score,
Oh, yeah.
is you're getting a little less blood points. But I'm also going to say that there was a little girl who was waiting for her mother outside of the bathroom, and she's going to see you guys leave. But be terrified to say anything.
Yeah, can it be me that they see?
Sure.
Okay. I think that makes sense. And that's probably why I released their mother early.
Yeah.
Because
Maybe
I'm
you
like,
saw her on the
go,
way
I see
in.
you have a child. Go to your child. Be well.
Yeah.
And
How
I
thoughtful.
unlocked it.
Bleeding
And
parts are only good for drinking, I swear.
how, how much blood did I get? Usually 3 is 1 turn of drinking.
Yeah.
So 3.
You guys can have whatever it is you want. You don't have to leave the bathroom until you're done doing what you need to do.
So I'm going to take 3 from her, and then I'm going to use the my dominate on her. The forgetful mind, so
Okay.
that I can have her remove that memory for the night, but I won't remove it from the child because that seems unwise. Don't want to mess with the minds of children.
Plus, also, who is going to believe a child?
Right.
Exactly.
It's
Can you
good to
tell me
have a
what,
healthy fear of us.
Anya, can you tell me the role for Dominate 3?
Dominate 3. It is wits plus subterfuge.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't think ingratiating is going to help me there.
No.
Target number? I think it's based on their
she's pretty
willpower.
pliable. I'm gonna go with 6.
Okay, in that case, I got 4 successes.
Nice. She doesn't remember a thing.
All right.
All right, now I'm gonna set the scene for you guys.
Sorry, how
Okay.
do we add the blood points onto our sheet? That's just in blood pool. We just add those, or
Mm-hmm.
And you count them upward. Your maximum amount of blood that you can hold is based on your generation. Since you are the most powerful among us, I think you can hold 14 blood points.
okay.
I can hold 13, and I think Dahlia can hold 12, but we can only spend 1 point per turn among
Okay.
us.
So the 5, 3, and 5 that we picked, those would be our blood points that we put in.
Yep.
Yeah.
What is darling? What generation are you?
9.
Oh my.
Okay, so you guys have been working for Elena Dalka for the past couple of months, and her vision for vampire future is for everyone to be able to be free from both the Camarilla and the Sabbat so that they can basically just do what they want without having to adhere to any set of rules. She's been living this way since before the Sabbat or Camarilla was a thing, had been put into place. And she asked you guys to go to a seance that is happening in the city this evening to check and see what this medium's purpose is. What do they seem to be getting out of the situation? She wants to know if they are legit or if they are false. And she wants you guys to check and see who she's aligned with if she's a vampire. She knows that the medium's name is Diana. And she has sent you there. She's gotten you an invitation because it is invite-only type of gathering, and she has gotten you guys in because of her own persuasion abilities. You were going to the home of the Carters.
Excellent. I would be happy to let everyone share my extremely large black carriage after we leave the theater.
That sounds nice, Elson. Riding the entire way on horseback.
Mm-hmm.
Much smoother ride.
Oh, thank you,
I
Struggle
guess I can be
Princess.
close to people. As long as I do not catch a breeze.
Oh,
With my
swords and
huge
lace.
size, I'm supposed to be like extremely heavy. Am I just running behind?
You could ride on the outside on the top with the driver.
Sure. Poor horse.
Yeah, my driver is a ghoul that
Is there room for
very,
a
very
Belvedere?
recently. What's that?
Is there room for my manservant, Belvedere?
If he rides up top.
Ah, well.
What if
You
he
can
sits
do
on my
that.
lap?
There's a nice
He's a
bench.
small man.
You can let
Shirley
the
is
wind.
Charlize is a big lady. She's got plenty of lap.
All right, well, your carriage pulls up, and there is a valet who is willing to park your carriage for you. And you guys can go on in. He asks to see your invitation, and you're able to provide it for him. No big deal.
I don't know why I have to provide the invitation. They should just let me in. Does not matter. An invitation or not.
I'm going to look for the most interesting person in the room and start schmoozing them.
Before I even enter the room, I am going to make sure to ask my dear manservant to go in and ensure that there are no mirrors.
There are no mirrors. Actually, there has been care taken to make sure that every mirror in the room is covered.
Okay.
Ooh. That's interesting.
I guess I will stand in the corner and wait for everybody to come in and look surly and talk to my Victor. We don't know new people, but I'm interested.
I'll talk to Bell for a moment and let him know that my thought about these mirrors being covered, it could be that people believe spirits can travel through mirrors, and if a seance is to happen here, they wouldn't want any of the spirits getting free in another room of the house. That's my guess. I'm not the most knowledgeable when it comes to the spirits.
The Carters are Oscar and Ivy. They have a daughter named Lily who is about 17 years old who lives at the house with them. They have been inviting this medium, Diana Navarro, to their home in hopes of speaking to their son who died a few months ago, a horseback accident. So Diana has been providing them for a while individual sessions where they have been convinced that she has been able to speak to their son. And so now they have decided to open their home to their friends and neighbors so that they can seek an audience with the dead themselves and just to prove Diana's validity. So this is what you are at this evening. It is the second of a monthly seance that they plan to be having for the extended, just the amount of future that she wants to play. So we'll see how long she keeps this up. But the other guests are Conrad Weber, who seems very interested in you, Felix.
In me?
He definitely stares you down as soon as you walk into the room and doesn't let you out of his sight.
Do I see anyone who looks any more interesting than that person? That sounds pretty interesting. Anybody with a bigger smile?
There are also a couple named Ethan and Vanessa Ives who are there. there are a brother and sister, James and Alice, with their guest Ava, who James seems kind of perturbed that Ava is there. But they are trying to find their sister who has passed away.
This seems like an highly inappropriate place to flirt with anyone, but
I think it's worth a shot anyway.
What is
just
the
out
son's
of
name?
curiosity, who would be the most attractive person in the room? Besides myself, obviously.
Hmm. That would probably be between Alice and Ava for females, but Ethan is a very attractive male.
Agreed.
I take all camels.
And what is the son's name of the Oscar and Ivy, the one that is passed?
Their son's name was Samuel,
Sam.
and he was about 7 years old when he died.
Mignon.
Not even old enough to conquer yet.
That's why they've been so desperate to have Diana in their home. But Diana is also a very interesting person. She looks to be of Spanish descent. She speaks with a Spanish accent, and she just kind of owns the room that she's getting ready to prepare her seance in.
Can
And I do
I?
have a picture of Diana if you want to pop her up in chat.
Yeah, it's been up every time you've been talking
Okay,
about her. I also forgot to show Elena earlier.
That's okay.
But,
We'll get back to Elena in a minute.
That's Elena there. All right. And Zalwyn? No, that's Felix. And that is Dahlia. Just for everyone's edification. We'll have more pictures next week.
Yeah.
This one was Zalwyn. You did this one yourself?
Yes.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It is Vector.
All right. Yes. I think I would like to ingratiate myself to the person who is staring me down.
Okay.
With manipulation, just try to get very much on their good side, not knowing anything about them, but complimenting them. And
he seems very confused by your behavior. Not like he's not flattered, just very confused.
Okay.
He speaks with a very thick German accent.
Thicker than mine? Interesting. I'll break with him then and go find someone else to talk to. I'm trying to get away from all this from my past in Germany.
Okay. He makes that a little bit hard for you and kind of follows you around for the rest of the evening.
Well, I'll keep my eye on him as well.
Can I go stand menacingly next to Diane?
Sure.
I would like her to know I'm watching her.
I would like to approach Diana in a much less menacing manner.
Sounds good.
Evidently, she glows, as you say, no?
Mm-hmm.
So, I am drawn to another beauty, and I approach and attempt to kiss her hand and introduce myself.
She extends her hand to you.
Enchanté, madame. Enchanté.
She introduces herself as Diana Navarro, as the medium this evening, and she hopes you will keep an open mind to what you're going to see tonight.
But of course, there are such powers in the world, and it takes formidable individuals such as yourself to take a hold of them, no?
Exactly. She kind of looks over her shoulder at Dahlia and she's like, "This one came in with you?"
I am just interested. You are interested.
Okay. Okay. So, Oscar Carter stands up and rings a small bell to get everyone's attention, and he welcomes you all to his home and says that we are going to be beginning the seance in about 10 minutes. And Diana removes herself from your conversation and walks away to a back room to ready herself. So you guys have a few minutes before everything gets going.
In what manner is Charlize in the room?
I'm skulking in the corner because I have the curmudgeon trait, so I'm being very cynical and like, I'm thinking that things aren't going to be as they seem while we're here, so I'm just being fairly negative, just kind of giving a scope on everybody. Plus, I'm hideous and I smell, and I'm sure no one wants to get too close to me anyway.
That is true.
I do respect this creep show.
Are you using any of your powers to keep yourself hidden?
Well, we were welcomed in, so I'm just I think I'm just separating myself from the group in the corner, not being involved, but just kind of watching everyone else until I deem necessary.
Can you describe your personal disfigurements so that we all have an idea?
So Charlize essentially looks like a bloated, wrinkly corpse. Her face is half sagged on one side. Her mouth is shriveled. But she's also very large because she has the huge body trait. So she's like 300 pounds, over 6 feet, absolutely monstrous. So just too much body.
Maybe we tell everybody that you're our bodyguard.
I'm the muscle.
Yeah. And then they won't mess with you because of how big you are.
It sounds good.
And of course, if you ever need to just vanish, you can absolutely do that.
You can absolutely do that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Diana comes back into the room and she takes a seat at the head of a very large circular table that is pretty much covered in candles. There are, big ones, tall ones, long, skinny ones, all the candles you can think of. They are on this table and they are surrounded the table. They're making a big show. Miss Ivy Carter is making a big show of surrounding the table with a salt circle and ask everyone to step in before she finishes it. So everyone can step in and take a seat at the table.
I would like to sit as close as possible to this, Diana.
Sounds good.
I claim it. I do not care. I sit.
So Miss Carter is going to take her right hand, so I guess you can jump in there and get her left hand.
I pushed her out of the way a little bit. Like, you should know I should always sit here. Get first choice. I then place my hand firmly on Diana's and look her right in the eye.
I shall stand next to Ethan.
She does not seem disturbed.
I like that.
I don't care where I sit as long as I'm on the opposite side of the table as this person with the prying eyes.
I'll place myself between Felix and this person, but I don't think I'll sit. I'll probably break the chair.
So just pull the chair out of the circle and stand.
Pull the chair out of the circle. Either stand or just like squat on my knees. Probably still be level at head level with everybody else still doing that.
Yeah, I'll grab your hand.
Probably not necessary. You can probably sit in a chair, but
okay.
Yeah, they're sturdy.
Yeah, this is
Solid
a
wood.
very wealthy family, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, then I'll sit somewhere in between Felix and this stranger tying him up.
Or that just means you're going to break a very expensive chair.
Let's see. Ethan and Vanessa will slide in at the end of the table, the opposite end from Diana. The three that came in together, Alice, James, and Ava, will sit the girls next to each other and James on the end. And then Conrad will situate himself as close to, as right across from you as he can. Felix. And
Sounds good.
then we're going to get started. Miss Ivy turns the lights down with a dimmer and comes and has a seat. She gives Oscar a tearful look as the lights go down, like she's preparing herself for an emotionally charged evening. And they have a seat, and Diana is going to start. She starts by asking everyone to place their hands palms down on the table in front of them. And by magic, when all of your hands are on the table, the candles seem to light themselves. And Ava lets out a gasp as she is frightened by this.
How about
Once
the
the
rest of
candles are
us?
lit, go ahead.
How about the rest of us? We're all,
Oh yeah, you're all kind of frightened of fire,
mm-hmm.
but it's very small fires.
It is.
You guys are around candles.
We knew the candles were here. We
Yeah,
can't be
you had time to
that
prepare yourself
surprised.
for candles.
Yeah, something to be concerned about.
Yeah, the drapes could catch on fire.
And then we could catch on fire.
But right now, you're pretty safe.
It is a different roleplay game with all the fire.
I did have a question.
Now you're afraid of the fire.
Usually we're trying to spread it.
Yeah. Do we need to use blood to appear more human?
That is an option that you guys do have. You can spend a blood point to use, what's it called, like Flesh of Life.
Yeah.
Generally, it's only used by people who are on Path of Humanity, but I feel like it is such an essential part that I'm going to just let you guys all have that one because it just makes sense that you should be able to do that.
And we're on a very unusual but very close to humanity path, the path of harmony.
It's still pretty close.
So, yeah.
So if you guys all wanted to, you could have spent a point of blood to look human. You have, like, rosy cheeks, to appear like you're breathing. And if somebody were to put their head on your chest, you could even hear a heartbeat.
Yep, I'm definitely going to be doing that.
You could also get an erection if you wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
That is very important.
It
And
is.
use the blood left over from my meal and rose up my own cheeks.
We actually didn't establish how much blood I took from my herd, so I don't know.
You can
What
usually
actually
take up
happened.
to your herd rating without causing any permanent damage to any of them. If you need to take up to double, then you have a potential of having problems. And if you need to take up to triple, you might actually kill one.
Don't know hard.
So if you have like a herd of 5, you can regain 5 blood points without any difficulty.
So
These
just
herds are sounding useful.
They are.
Yes.
They're not great for
They
feeding
Is it
an
know
power
entire
of
those
group.
seduction?
Yeah. How many did you take?
3. 3.
Okay.
Plus, I suppose, the one that I started with.
Okay.
Still not much blood, but perhaps there is someone I can seduce not well.
Mm-hmm.
Take some more.
Yeah, it looks like this is not the kind of place where you can look around and say, Who won't be missed? Anybody here would be missed. They're all very powerful people, I assume.
Except for maybe that German guy.
Oh, okay.
I could,
In that case, if anybody's looking a little peckish, I'll let them know by the end of the seance.
Do any of you have auspex?
I have
Indeed.
1 dot. So I have heightened senses, but that's it.
Okay.
I
Nothing
as well.
extra.
So does anybody have like aura reading?
That's level 2. I'm not quite there yet.
Nobody?
Not that I'm aware of.
Good.
It's
put
a
all my points
discipline.
into presence.
Well, with heightened senses, you could possibly make a roll to see if you can tell, like, who is breathing and who does have a heartbeat. You could listen really well or smell really hard and see if you can figure out if Diana is a living or dead person, or
Yeah.
if Mr. Weber is a vampire, or if anybody else in this room is a vampire.
Yeah. I'll spend a little time to focus on Mr. Weber since he's giving me trouble. If someone else with Auspex wants to tackle another one of the people.
I can take one. I would like to check this Diana.
Sounds good. Perfect.
What should I do? Perception plus occult
Yes.
to see if they're vampires?
Yeah.
I also have the specialty bloodlines or clan. Is there any possible way I could get any information that would help me figure out their clan?
So is that like lore based, or is that like
Yeah, it's lore
sense
based.
based?
Now
you're
that I'm
focusing
saying it
on-
out loud, I don't think it would really apply.
Yeah, I'm like, you could make some guesses, maybe.
Maybe if I had a little toolkit or something, like a little hand mirror and all kinds of other little tools.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think that would be super useful just in sitting across the table from someone.
Yeah.
I feel like I am so close I could tell right away.
Yeah.
What's our difficulty for figuring out whether they're vampires or not?
Since you guys are just using heightened senses, I'm gonna go with 7.
I have an 8.
And I have 4 successes for Weber.
Okay. So you can definitely tell that Weber is in fact a vampire. Matter of fact, he's kind of locked eyes with you and intentionally stopped breathing. So that you
So he probably spotted
he's helping
me.
you out.
Yeah, he
He can
spotted
kind
me
of tell that
sussing
you're
him
checking him out, and he's helping you out.
Okay.
It's a little bit harder for Dahlia to get a good read on Diana. But you said you grabbed her hand earlier, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it was cold, colder than you would expect a human person's hand to be. And so with that information and the fact that when you look at her really closely, you can kind of tell that she does have that, like you had done it, or your group mates had done Flush of Life earlier. So you kind of have an idea of the differences between like what an actual live human flesh looks like versus what a vampire using their blood power looks like. And it looks like more of the vampire power, that she has used blood to make herself look more human. It's a little bit more effective than the way that you guys had done it because, I don't know, maybe she's older generation. Maybe she has, more blood to spend on such a thing. But you think that she's a vampire.
Interesting. No wonder she wasn't intimidated when I grabbed her hand.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, everybody's hands on the table, candles are lit, And Diana asks everyone to close their eyes and to focus very intently on the Carter's child, Samuel Carter. She asks that you think of his name, and Ivy holds up a picture of him so that everybody can get a good look of what he would look like, and lays the picture back down, and then it's time to focus. Diana starts breathing very heavily, very intently on what she's doing. She starts humming, and it seems like almost her body is vibrating, like she's moving faster than you would think a person should be able to do in her chair. And before you know it, she throws her head back, and what most people have been calling ectoplasm spills out of her mouth in an upward spire towards the ceiling. It shoots out for a good 3 or 4 seconds, and then it kind of slowly sinks back down and comes to rest over her body, almost like a mask. And in the mask, you can see the face of Samuel Carter. Ivy automatically bursts into tears and grabs her husband's hands, and they are crying and laughing as the ectoplasm version of their son has a big smile on his face and seems very happy. There's no wounds on his body like there were when he was buried, and he seems very happy, and they seem very excited that seems to be in a good place. And he can't speak his own voice, but Diana has been sneaky and has learned a few facts about their time with their son, and she speaks through this mask that he is very happy that one day again they will be reunited to play catch out in this specific field where they used to play catch all together as a family and picnic. And again, Ivy and Oscar Carter just tears and tears of joy, and then almost in the exact same manner, the ectoplasm lifts off of Diana's body, shoots back into the air, and then dives back into her mouth. And she comes to with a large, gasping breath and seems very tired and exhausted. Like this has been very difficult work for her to do, that it has been very physically draining.
It has been very difficult to watch as well.
Yes.
Are the candles still lit?
Yes.
Can I reach my foot back and break the salt circle?
Sure.
Okay. I just used the tip of my foot to break the salt circle nonchalantly and just watch to see if anything happens.
So when you break the salt circle, a small bit of what looks like the ectoplasm comes forth out from her chest and whooshes over all of the candles, blowing them all out. And Miss Carter starts screaming, "No, no, no! What have you done? Who did this?" And she stands up and starts running around the table to see where the circle was broken, and she stops behind her chair. "What have you done? What have you done?"
So I did it on the side nearest the person who's next to me. That's
Okay.
not Charlize. So
Okay.
Whoever's sitting on my left-hand side.
Ava, right. The girl who also wants to find a dead friend.
Yeah.
Miss
so
Carter.
I look
Go
at
ahead.
her aghast and try to shift blame over to her. without
Um,
using any words.
Ava starts crying. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. Please, please, please let us come back again. We believe, we believe. And Miss Carter is very upset, but Diana stands up and says it wasn't her, that it was a spirit that broke the circle, that someone was trying to get to Ava, and it's very important that Ava comes back the next month to see who it was that wanted to reach out to her.
It must have been a very powerful spirit.
It would have had to be. To break a salt circle, a spirit would have to be, if not very powerful, very, very urgently wanting to reach you.
I look at Diana and give her a knowing smile.
Ava starts crying and she starts looking at Alice and James, and they are like, okay, I guess we're coming back. Because they were both kind of iffy about it. It seems like Ava was the one who really wanted to find the sister and not the siblings. But, yeah.
Do we
But
want to
Diana
take...
stands up from the table and she's going to go collect herself. She's going to go freshen up and she will be back in a few moments.
I would like to follow her and ask her a little bit about this if I can.
Sure.
Are we going to take a quick break as well?
Yes, let's take a quick break.
All right, we'll be right back.
Age Vampire, A Spiritual Awakening. We have just finished up a seance, and we're going to get started on what comes next. So Diana has just left the room. Dahlia is following her. And Mr. Weber is now trying to get back into your attention. Felix.
This man.
He seems very insistent.
I think it might be time to pull out a glove and give him a bop. And
You're gonna bop him?
Yeah, I'm gonna smack him with my glove and let him know that if he wishes to bother me further, he must bother me outside, not amongst these guests.
Now I'm a little
Okay.
sad I missed a whacking.
So yeah, just give him a swat across the face with a leather glove.
I'm just like, do you need a roll for that? Like,
It's not supposed to hurt so much as it's supposed to insult.
Yeah, that's what I'm going for. If you'd like, I'd love to do some kind of like intimidation, manipulation plus intimidation or something like that.
Yeah, let's do that. That sounds good. Let's see how put off he is by your bopping.
Okay. I'm bopping.
Bop it. Twist it.
Target number?
But don't pull it.
Difficulty?
This is a pretty easy thing. Let's go with 6.
6, 3 successes.
Okay. He's not super upset or intimidated. He's very confused that you are acting this way. And he asks if you would be willing to have a conversation with him after the night's activities have wrapped up outside. That he will bother you no further.
Can I give him a once-over with the heightened senses again from, like, closer? And just see if there's anything else I can get out of that?
Sure.
Okay. Difficulty?
7.
4 successes again.
Okay. You get a really good sniff, a whiff of him. He has a very familiar smell. Like deja vu inducing smell almost. Like
The scent of sauerkraut.
Oh, right, he is German.
Yeah. You know him, or you know someone who is very close to him. You recognize the smell. You recognize it a lot because it is almost the same as your own.
I think that might trigger some of my PTSD in that case.
You want to make a willpower check?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and roll willpower rather than spending it, because I think there's a chance. Probably a pretty high difficulty.
Yeah, we're going to go with 8.
Okay. I've got 9 dice, and I got 2 10s.
Ooh. Okay.
So,
well, you're not gonna lose yourself. You're going to you're gonna start remembering a little bit about his face. Not necessarily, I mean, you know what his name is.
Yeah.
But you're going to start remembering that you've seen his face before and you've interacted with this person before.
Okay. All right.
So he asks you again if you will meet with him when this is over.
Yeah. I tell him to call on me at my residence within the next fortnight.
Okay.
That
A
I
fortnight.
That means
don't
we can
want
tag
to.
this stream as Fortnite now.
Victorian Age
Quadruple
vampire colon Fortnite.
My son would be
Everything
like, "Oh,
happens within a
cringe."
Everything happens within a 2-week period. Yeah, and I give him my address in the clock tower on the
Okay.
west side of London.
All right. So, Dahlia, what do you want to know?
First of all, why have you decided to con these people?
What do you mean?
I mean, I obviously know that you did not do that. That there was not a spirit that broke the circle.
Yeah, maybe there
I
wasn't a
was too
spirit that broke
close.
the circle, but everything else could absolutely be legit.
Could could absolutely be legit. I think you are halfway legit. Like you have some fancy tricks, but I'm wondering why you did not tell on our friend here and and why I guess it's just for money, but because you did
Yeah,
not.
money is important, but there's a few things that are more important than money that I also have in the works.
I'm interested in it if you would tell me more about that because I'm interested in these spirits. Do you really talk to them?
People like us have a difficult time interacting with spirits in general. I had a friend who could, at one point in time, legitimately speak with spirits. But I myself don't really.
Hmm. This is a clever trick you have here. I won't tell on you because you did not tell on my friend, but I am interested.
I have a long con that I'm working on.
These people seem quite wealthy, eh? They might have something, eh?
They have space and they have money and they're stupid and they're willing to give it to me.
Those are the best kind of people to conquer. I find this interesting. I'm going to go talk to my friends real quick, but don't worry, I will not give you up.
I appreciate that.
I will give you some time to breathe. I find this highly hilarious at this point now. So I do decide to go back in and I move my way, especially over to Felix. I've been talking to him a little bit anyway. And I kind of whisper a little rundown of what went on and why he did not get told on.
Nice. I had a feeling that there was something kooky going on, but the fact that she knew the circle was broken tells me even a little more, possibly, about what's going on, and it's a little more interesting than I expected. So.
Yes, I did. I could have roughed her up and asked what really is like the complete thing. But let's not rattle too many feathers here, because how you say, because we're doing okay here. You have not been told on.
Thank you for making sure that I wasn't going to get in any significant trouble for that. I appreciate it.
Apparently, these people are stupid. It seems like it wouldn't have mattered anyway.
Yeah, so that's going to turn my attention from whoever looks the most interesting to whoever looks like an easy mark, and try to get them to invest in some kind of, some German technology that's up and coming.
Darling, they're all here to talk to dead loved ones. They're all easy marks.
So Diana comes back out and uh is she still seems very, very weakened and very, very tired, and she has a seat at the table, and she lets the other guests come and ask her questions about what happened and um, how much they would need to pay for a individual session with her or an well, she said an individual session is a must to begin with, and then they could do a seance here the next month. So she takes a deposit from Ava, Alice, and James for next month's seance and schedules a time for her to go to their home to learn more about this sister. And let's see, who else was there? Vanessa and Ethan are very interested, but they haven't really lost anyone. They are just very interested in the occult and spiritualism and speaking with the dead, and feel like that is an important endeavor for human beings to embark on to learn more about themselves. So they're very interested in definitely being here again next month to see what happens. So everyone
Dahlia,
is invited back. Diana makes sure that the Carters know that you guys are definitely good to return. That you guys were very supportive to her. So she wants you guys to be here. She feels that you guys are important to what's happening here for some reason. And yeah, she retires for the evening. And the Carters ask everyone to please take their coats, and we will see you next month.
It must have been my strong touch.
So you guys are ushered out of the Carter's home, and you are back outside and waiting for your carriage to return. The valet heads to go retrieve your carriage and bring it back to you. And while you were waiting, because you guys are the last carriage that they get, because you're the newcomers and they don't know you, so you're the last carriage. Um, a group of three very large, obviously drunk men stumble out of a pub several blocks down the road, uh, being very loud and very obnoxious, and are coming your way. And when they notice that you guys are waiting, you look pretty wealthy, and you're waiting for a carriage that has not yet arrived and is nowhere to be seen, they decide that they're going to take advantage of this situation. And since they're very drunk, they don't understand the odds. They're not super in their favor with, 4 against 3. So,
maybe maybe Charlize is standing just around a corner, so
yeah.
they don't spot her.
Shirley says, like, I can smell them from here. Oh, the booze.
This is
What
practically
kind of
Meals on
clothing
Wheels
are
for
they
us.
wearing?
Very, just common clothing, nothing that looks very nice. They definitely look like they do hard labor. Their clothes are worn, their boots are thin. Yeah, they probably have a hole or two in their shirt, suspenders, button down. Look like they work at a factory.
Well, I'm already pretty aggravated that we had to wait for this carriage.
Yeah.
I
So
feel
they're
like
stumbling down and they start yelling at you guys and walking and jogging in your direction as they're yelling at you to get ready to give them your money because they're coming to get you if you don't.
oh, they think I give them something. They don't know me very well. Um, have they
Uh,
reached us yet? How close are they?
They're probably about like a half a block away when they started really making noise and heading in your direction.
I'll take a step back. I want to see what Dahlia will do.
I'm already pretty aggravated. I'm trying to make sure that I don't have very much body crafting, but if they get close enough, I just feel like taking one down. I'm aggravated, and we can have a little bit of a meal and just finish them off.
Yeah, I kind of
Francois
shout.
will dip back as well. No
I
interest in violence here?
I do a little
Falcon smells that
ventriloquism.
it's beer on them and not like some fancy liqueur.
Yeah, no, it's the cheapest of the cheap beer that they could buy a lot of.
Disrespectful. They at least could have drank some good rum.
I think they
Well,
want to
this
kiss
is my-
Dahlia.
Oh, they think they can try. Let's see how close they can come and get, but they might be pulling back a little bit of a different shape of a mouth.
So they
Got a
have
good plan, actually.
clubs.
Mm.
Well, due to my appearance as well as my large stature, I would like to make use of my obfuscate, as well as I have a bunch of points in dexterity that allow me to have a specialty of smooth motion. So I would like to
Nice.
conceal myself and attempt to get closer to them to
Yeah.
perhaps narrow down the group.
Yeah. They're moving pretty quickly at this point because they have announced themselves and what they want, so they're trying to get to you quickly
Mm.
before you guys can get back in the house or away from them. So, yeah. That quick, smooth movement will be super useful.
Do you want to get behind them? So you and Dahlia are like pincering them?
Sandwiches.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Alrighty. I guess that would be like a... With obfuscate,
There's no roll against
there's
humans.
no roll against that? Okay, good. It was more did they get the behind them? But I guess since you're going to be obfuscated, they're not going to see you, so they're not going to be looking for you to go around them. So, yeah, you can get behind them pretty quickly and easily. And Dogna, that leaves you in front to draw their attention.
Yes, I'd like the first one that is going to reach us, the closest one to me. I would like to do a little bit of my vicissitude,
Yeah.
and
That's what you can
let's.
do.
I would. I'm highly aggravated at this point. I'd like to just. They seem like they're a little smudgy, and it seems pretty easy that I can take any of their fat and harden it completely. That should cause quite a bit of cramping.
Yeah,
And stop whoever's in front in their tracks at least.
absolutely. So, dexterity plus bodycraft.
Difficulty?
Let's see. They're pretty drunk and stumbling, and they're coming right for you. They're not trying to avoid you. So I'm gonna say it's a 6.
Yeah. Well, I must be very angry because I have a 10.
Nice. Do you have a dexterity specialty?
I don't think so, because they have
I do not know. I do not.
Okay. Gotcha.
They only
All
rolled
right.
4
Well,
dice.
a 10. Where do you? Because you're gonna have to touch them where you want to harden. So where do you? What do you want to grab?
I would like to use my giant gate to take a giant step forward, and I do just grab his gut. And I go,
Okay.
you seem a little pudgy to be coming after such people like this.
Gotcha. Yeah. So you're just gonna harden it solid.
Yes, I want to just drop him like a rock.
Nice. He is going to double over in pain and grabbing at his stomach and fetal position on the ground, crying. And the other two guys are very confused about what happened. They start laughing at him for not being able to hold his liquor and pick up their clubs like they're going to hit you.
Oh, you think.
Should they do
Let's
initiative?
see, I have I have a pretty
Yeah, we should do initiative rolling.
I would like to, I do have quite a bit of melee. I would like to just swat at them, to be honest.
Yeah. Can I get you and anybody else who wants to be in this fight to roll initiative?
They'll need to know what that is.
So, did you put it on the sheet?
Yeah, it's at the very top.
It should be like your dexterity plus a whole bunch of other things.
No, it's at the very top of the not the sheet with the
Oh, of
the
my
second
sheet.
Yep.
Let's see. Initiative is perception plus alertness. Target number 4.
Given my stats, I can guarantee that I am never going to get a good initiative roll.
I'm gonna stay out of this fight for the moment, so I
Okay.
won't roll yet.
As is Francois, because he has no interest in fighting. Ever. Unless he has to.
Because of my huge size, it says that I have a bonus in pushing objects. If I were to just shove one of these guys into Dahlia, would that do
Yeah.
anything for my number?
No,
Or
you
would
have
that
to
just
roll
make it
this
more
first.
likely? Okay.
Yeah. This kind of decides when you get to take your turns.
Okay. So you said, sorry, perception plus alertness?
Mm-hmm. Target number 4.
Got it.
All right.
Okay.
So Zelwyn as Dahlia got 0 successes, so they'll
Yes.
probably be going last in the turn.
Yeah.
And Charlize got 2 successes.
The drunkard must have fallen into me.
Do you want me to roll for the other guys?
Sure. You can roll 4 dice for each of them.
4?
Now, let's do 3. 3 dice for
Okay.
each of them.
How about 4 for one and 3 for the other? Because I already
Sure.
rolled one.
Oh, dang.
The one's just a little more drunk than the other.
Yeah. I'm like, they're just people. And they're drunk.
They're just dressed funny.
They're actually only pretending to be drunk, you know?
Wow.
Like
Okay.
Foster Brooks.
Ah,
Is that a reference older than literally everyone in this room?
Did you roll? Okay, there it
The first one got
3.
Wow.
3 successes. The second one got 3
3
successes.
Okay.
Sorry, I forgot to put that one up on the screen.
Okay. So, these 2 guys who are in front of you with their clubs ready to hit you with, let's see, Seth got
2.
Sorry, Charlize got 2. Yeah, so these guys get to go first. They're gonna take a swing at you, each of them. Let's see.
Is my obfuscate still in effect right now?
Yes,
Or
they
is
can't
that-
see you.
Okay.
So they
They
have
can't
no. So
see
when
you.
you do get to hit them, they're gonna be very surprised. Let's see. Gavin, can you go ahead and roll another 3 dice for them?
Okay.
So 2 more sets of 3, target number 6.
All right. The first one got 1 success.
Okay.
And the second one got no success.
Okay. So the 0 success guy is a swing and a miss, and he is still obviously very drunk. He nearly trips himself as he swings at you. And the one guy, he does land the club on you, but he let's see, you could do a defensive move if you want to, or you could just let him hit you. It's either way is good.
he probably won't hurt me if he hits me, but I would like to. I do have a hammer in my coat.
Well, you're gonna get to soak the damage too, before.
Yeah.
So, you want me to roll his damage roll?
Sure.
Strength +1.
Yeah. Let's do 2. He's just a dude. He's a
So
big
three,
dude, but he's just a
3
dude.
dice. 2
2
strength.
dice. +1, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
They have that listed in the book. Just a dude.
Just a dude.
The stats for a dude.
A dude. He got 1 success on his damage roll.
Okay.
So for
So
bashing,
he lands this, and he lands it on your the outside of your shoulder. And he was also in the process of tripping when he got to you and landed it. So it doesn't really cause any damage. It's bashing damage, and it's very, very weak bashing damage. It's something that you can basically just soak without needing to make a roll. It's just 1.
yeah, normally you would roll stamina. It's on your cheat sheet there. Stamina
My cheat sheet.
plus.
Soaking bashing is stamina plus fortitude plus armor. So if you
So
want to do that, let's do it. Stamina plus
see
fortitude
if you can
plus
resist that
armor.
damage.
Ew.
Because we were at a fancy party, you're probably not wearing your armor, but
No. My
so
fortitude.
your stamina attribute is how many dice you're gonna roll,
Oh, and then I do have armor.
and you just need 1 success to not take any damage.
Oh, yes, so dude. Ugh, there we go.
And you've got it. Every
3
single one of those is a
successes.
success.
So he could have hit you 3 times as hard, and you still
Yeah.
wouldn't have taken any damage.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay. He looks stunned and stupefied that you didn't even flinch. Basically, you just stared at him in the eyes the entire time, and he feels very intimidated in the moment.
Well, good. Can I use my great blow and just blow it and just give my nice skull smash?
Seth gets to take
I-
a turn, and then
yeah.
you can take a turn. Sorry, Seth.
We won't call you by your name or your screen name. We'll call you by your character's
Which is
name
separate.
from a different game. I do that in real life. I call you Seth in real life by accident.
I mean, at this rate, might as well just change my name.
Yeah.
It suits
So
your
yeah,
dog.
you're behind them
It's
and
really
you're
cute.
completely invisible. They don't know you're there.
Okay. So, how does this work for attacking? It's like 1 target at a time?
Yeah. And you just
Yeah.
determine the kind of attack you're making, and
Okay.
So, like, are you brawling? Are you using a firearm? Are you doing melee?
firing a bow.
I don't have any weapons logged because I've built Charlize to be poor at fighting, and that's why they have the addictive personality. They have to pick off drunkards and drug abusers who are just passed out. So this will be a tasty treat. I would like to do a melee attack. I have long, gross nails listed as weapons. Would that be something separate from melee?
That would be a brawl.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be a brawl.
Okay.
Melee is
also,
with
I
a
don't know how
knife.
that. Sorry, you first.
No, I was gonna say melee is just with a weapon. Without a
weapon.
weapon, it's brawl. And
Okay.
yeah, it's dexterity plus brawl.
Okay.
And depending on how Anya wants to do it, you usually get a bonus to your target number because you're invisible. So it usually brings it down to like
Yeah.
4 instead of 6.
Yeah. Kind of like a sneak attack bonus.
Mm-hmm. Also, just FYI, if you bite someone and start draining their blood, it's physically impossible and mentally impossible for them to fight back. So once you have got your fangs in them, they are in ecstasy and they can't fight back against you.
They're just too
Okay.
trembling.
Okay, then
Generally,
I
when
might
I
just
find
try
when I
to-
bite someone, they don't bite back.
True.
I might just try to bite them then, because if they can't see me, I might as well just go for it.
Yeah.
Makes sense. That target number will be 5 then, because bite goes up by 1.
And that's still a brawl, right?
Still a brawl, yeah.
So I have it listed as a 6 for my difficulty. Is that
Oh.
incorrect on my combat sheet?
All the books have different numbers.
Yeah.
It's really confusing. 6 is fine, probably.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's what I have down as 6. But I'm thinking I'm going to let you do 5 since you're invisible and they don't know you're coming.
Okay. And sorry, how do I do that for what 2 are getting combined again for this?
Dexterity plus brawl.
Yeah.
Dexterity plus brawl. Okay.
Wow. Do you have a specialty?
For dexterity, I have smooth motioned.
Then I think that counts.
And what about for brawl?
That's 2, 4, 7.
2, yeah,
Jesus.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8 successes.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, so you catch this guy completely off guard. You've got your fangs sunk into his neck. He is completely at your mercy. You can drain all or nothing, whatever you want.
I'm gonna drain him like a Capri Sun. Just it's like everything I can.
So you can get 3
We're
per
going
turn.
to have to deal with a drunk Nosferatu.
So you can get 3 blood per turn. So if that's what you want to do this turn, is to just eat him, then you can get 3 dots this turn, and Dahlia can take a turn.
Got it. Okay, I put in my 3.
Yeah, with 8 successes, you basically could have, if you wanted to kill him instantly, you could have just ripped his head completely off. But if you're drinking his blood, you're limited to 3. There's just only a certain amount of blood you can get into your mouth so fast.
Got it.
But yeah, that is the... Oh my god, I can't remember the last time I've seen 8 successes on a roll. And in the first session. That was awesome.
Got 4 dexterity and 3 brawl, so it's pretty stacked.
Nice.
All right, Dahlia, what would you like to do?
Well, all this commotion going on, whoever's closer to me, I'm just going to bite them.
All right, well, there's another guy, and yeah, he's the one who tripped, so he's probably laying on the ground, actually, so you can snatch him up. But yeah, I think this will be another brawl roll if you want to pick him up and try to eat him.
And how did the brawl roll?
It is dexterity plus brawl.
And the difficulty is based on what exactly it is you're doing.
I am just grabbing him and biting as hard as I can on that neck.
We're going to do target number 6.
Well, there we go.
Oh, you rolled, sorry. I didn't even see it. Fantastic.
Yes, you grab him up by the collar and yank him almost directly into your mouth. You are able to sink your teeth in, and you guys both are just having a nice little snack. You can take 3 blood this turn.
I am just going to chomp as close to his spine as possible.
Francois is going to look on in disgust because, my god, eating junk food at this time of night.
Now that the turn's over, can I go grab that one that's doubled over in pain and drag him into the alley?
Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna feed on him once I'm...
You guys might all
hidden.
want to follow Felix into the alley with your snacks.
Yes, I'm going to drag him behind, and I just grab his arm and drag him. I don't really care. His head's just lolling by now.
Francois does not believe in feeding that way, so he's going to stay far away. His own sensibilities.
The rest of us are going to be quite and well drunk at the end of this.
thought Francois was supposed to be the hedonistic one.
Yeah. When it comes to sex, yes, but when it comes to blood, not so much.
I
And,
think he was as a driver, because none of us are suitable for driving now.
Being the way I am, I'm only going to take 4 blood from mine.
Okay.
Because no point in killing people. But I did take more than I would normally take because he was a asshole.
What about you two?
I've already taken 3, so maybe you said, what is it, 5 or 6 when they pass out?
So
probably
7 is when they are most likely going to die. At 6,
yeah, so
they're
probably
still...
like 5 or 6 is they're gonna pass out. These are pretty big guys, so they'll probably have a little bit more stamina. So I would say 6 is the most you could take from them without
Okay.
them just dying in your arms.
I can only drink 2 more anyway. I'm almost full and bloated.
Well, you said earlier 14 is my max, so if I take 3 more from him, then that puts me at like everything I can handle. So I'm full.
Awesome. All right, so these 3 guys get left in the alley. And just about that time, your carriage pulls up, and the valet hops off the top of the carriage and kind of shakily, a little nervously, so, here you go, sir. Here's your carriage. And kind of walks very quickly back into the house.
Well, this is what happens when you keep us waiting.
So are you all just going to leave this mess for the homeowners to deal with?
I kick the body just as close to the corner of the alley as possible.
Right, well, you guys can leave if you want to.
Yeah, I'll invite everyone back to my rental if they're interested in joining me at my clock tower.
Well, this has been good fun. I of course, I want more fun.
Now that 3 of us are inebriated, it's probably good
I'm
to
also
be
going
in
to
a...
say yes, but only because he misunderstood when you said clock tower.
Even you're that Victor, we're going to learn some time.
Yeah, it is a clock tower that rises 108 feet over a military hospital. So there's always a lot of food on the ground level, and the clock tower is almost never used for anything else. So they rent it out to me for an inordinate sum of money, of course. But we have a nice separate entrance to access for our comings and goings, and there is plenty of room up there, and the clock tower has an amazing view of the west side of London.
I do appreciate the nice view. The eyes must be treated.
Is there access to a cellar?
A cellar? Almost definitely under the hospital, but I haven't ever been down that far. That would be something Anya would have to tell you about.
I mean, I'm sure that a hospital would have cellars to store things in.
I have to have a safe place for Victor sometimes. And a body or two sometimes.
Who's
So
Victor?
maybe a morgue.
Oh, you have not met my Victor. Oh, he is my friend. We have good conversations. He tells me good things. He gives me good advice. Don't worry about it.
Oh, I look down. Is this Victor?
It's Victor. He will take no more questions.
It's the only one I had.
Good.
Francois is starting to second guess coming along with these people.
Who's the Malkavian here?
Elena will be expecting a report, so if you guys want to do that before the evening is over. The party wraps up around 10, so you do have time to swing by Elena's place and give your report, or you can wait until tomorrow evening to do that.
Sounds good.
I would love to let her know everything that went on tonight.
So Elena is more out towards the countryside, where she has taken over an abbey, very small abbey.
Ah.
Very glad of her.
I like the idea of this, yes. It's like, why very small, though? A little bit bigger? Can we help
She
you?
owns property all across Europe, so
Oh.
she's got plenty of choice if she wants it, but she likes this small place here.
I own more.
All of my property is unfortunately in France, and I'm not allowed back in France.
You do not know where mine is. I will not tell you.
I'll commiserate with Francois on that. I have a similar issue with Germany.
Yes, the boys who can never go home.
You could call us Lost Boys.
I
I think
won't.
we are better dressed.
Well, it
Ruffle
will
my
probably
fluffy.
take you about 45 minutes to get to this abbey from the Carters, if you guys want to go straight there. So,
Yep.
either way.
All right. Yep. We'll go straight there in my carriage if everyone's interested.
There is a party.
It's always sort of a
Then we
party.
must
at
go.
Elena's.
It's sweet.
Yep. I will
Okay.
engage our driver to take us there. I'm sure we've been there before.
Yeah. So this abbey is a small church building with several smaller, like bungalow style type houses around where people can stay. She has a human staff that take care of the spiritual needs of the humans during the day so that no one questions her ability to stay here. And she also has a vampire type staff, I guess that's the best way to say it. People who work closely with her, who help oversee the business of the evenings. And make sure that the human and vampire business never touch each other.
What religious what is the apparent religion of the abbey?
It definitely appears to be Catholic.
Okay.
Catholic. In England?
Yeah.
Is there anything else that any other symbols or anything that we might recognize if we had the right skills or knowledges?
Um, yeah, definitely. There is carved on the walls over top of the crosses. So like, crosses are situated on the wall. This symbol is carved over top of them, uh, giving it, a more prominent, important place. It is a crescent moon, surrounded by a circle of vine.
All right. I've got it up on the screen for the viewers as well. What would we roll if we were to try to...
I guess you could roll your bloodlines. You could roll, I guess if you guys have any, like, vampire lore.
What plus occult intelligence?
Yeah.
Francois is too stupid. He knows nothing.
Difficulty?
Since you guys have been here before and you've met Elena before, you probably have heard whispers about it, so I'm gonna say a target number 6.
Okay. Well, I got 2 successes.
2 successes.
Do we
With
have to have a
specialties.
specific...
Hmm?
I was just going to ask, do we have to have a specific trait in order to roll this intelligence plus occult, or are we all making this roll?
If you have a cult, you can roll it.
I don't have occult, I just have intelligence, so it would just be that.
Yeah, you can try it. The target number will go up because you don't have a cult, but yeah. You
Okay.
might have picked up on conversations around that make it easier for you to figure it out.
Okay.
So let's make that target number 8.
Wow.
And you got
That's
a
a
10.
very interesting roll.
Yeah.
So that negates it, doesn't it?
No.
Yes, does it not?
I don't play that rule because it makes me sad.
Well, that would be a terribly botched roll otherwise.
It
Yeah.
would be. Yeah, we're playing Old World of Darkness, Classic World of Darkness, with some modified rules regarding specializations. We count 10s as 2 successes, and we don't do botch rules for the most part.
Yeah.
Anya can basically turn anything into a botch. That's a failure if she would like to, but with a 10, that's definitely a success for us. And yes, chat is definitely allowed. We're glad to have you here, Shrappy.
I also have the specialty of savvy for
We'd
my
love to hear from our adoring audience.
Yes. Savvy. That would have definitely helped you. That's kind of what I was thinking would be the way that you would have picked it up, as you would have, yeah. So let's count that 10 as 2 successes. All right, so I'm sorry.
So that was a total of like 5 successes between the 3 of us.
Okay. Okay.
And I'm
Perfect.
not even going to try because I have none of the acquired skills.
No intelligence.
Francois is not a smart man. If he was a smart man, he would still be in France.
I accidentally hit enter on my roll early, but it's up there. I did get a little success.
Perfect. Okay. Yes, so you guys have kind of put together that Elena is what you have heard other vampires call a Bahari. And that is, in some circles, a very dirty word. And basically what that means is she believes that the first vampire and the progenitor of all other vampires is Lilith and not Cain.
That is okay. Most people don't like me either. So.
It's that's my kind of heresy.
Yeah. She And because she doesn't line up with either side of this vampire politics divide with Camarilla or Sabat, she gets flack for that as well. You haven't quite figured out why both of the sides seem too afraid to make a move against her, but so far she has been able to offer all of you protection and relative safety throughout the city from both sides of Camarilla and Sabat. And you've kind of enjoyed that, and you haven't asked a whole lot of questions about it, but you can see and you're learning that she's Bahari. So that can be something that you guys could learn more about or ask her about later.
I feel like Dahlia probably got the most deep information, the deepest cut of information. So I think we would probably send Dahlia to deliver that information.
Indeed, I'm trying to find her post-haste. Plus, this isn't a very alluring individual to me because
She is pretty easy to find during the evenings. She basically turns the chapel into her courtroom. So all the crosses go upside down, and all the pews are pushed out of the way to make a dance floor, and there are large tables set up with glasses full of what appear to be blood.
Well, I like this. A woman of good taste. So I try to find her directly, and I'm the kind who just walk right up and say, hey, I have some information again. I'm ready.
So when you do walk into this chapel, and I assume that all of you are going to go into the room.
Yeah.
There is a person who is tied to a cross that is being suspended from the air, and blood is draining from their body, and it is being collected.
This is a bit more my style.
Elena is the one who has a very long poker, basically, who is poking holes into this person. And the person is speaking in a language that you don't recognize, and they all seem to be Elena and 3 of her closest confidants are all at the same time chanting something that you also don't recognize. It seems to be very ritualistic, and yeah, that is the scene you walk in on.
Usually when I poke someone tied to a grass, it's not with metal.
Once you get a little bit closer, you are able to see that the person who is being poked is a vampire and not a human being.
What did this vampire do?
Do any of us recognize the vampire? Are they famous? Or infamous?
Famous? Let's go ahead and let's have anybody who wants to make a roll see if you guys recognize them. Like, let's do a perception. I need a character sheet so I can see what all your traits are.
Yeah.
So let's see. Do your perception plus bloodlines.
Occult, you mean?
Is that what a cult is? Yeah.
I have a specialty bloodlines.
Gotcha. Oh, okay.
Kindred bloodlines, obviously.
Gotcha.
There's also a vampire lore skill that you can take. But
does anybody have
choose.
that?
I am useless a little right here because I don't mingle enough with people to have enough perception.
Gotcha.
So I have a specialty in that. What's the difficulty?
Francois, as a rule, doesn't recognize anyone else in the room besides himself, so...
Yeah, let's do I need a character sheet so I can see what you guys can do. Let's go ahead and do a perception plus occult and see if you recognize him or this ritual.
If one of my specialties counts, then I got 6 successes.
Yeah, we'll do the bloodlines so that will help you to recognize this person.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
For one of my flaws, I took dead sight. So because of that, I get a +2 perception difficulty. I only have 2 in perception. Would that mean I have 0 now?
Perception difficulty and perception are different. So your
Yeah, so
perception score is the number of dice you roll, but when you roll perception, you get to it says +2 perception difficulty or 2 points better.
+2 perception difficulty, so it's like it's a more difficult level.
Is
so
it
like
a
how
flaw?
I had to reach. Yeah, it's a flaw.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes it harder. So instead of 6, your difficulty would be 8.
Okay.
What is it? What does that mean, dead sight?
It's just everyone looks like rotting and decrepit.
Oh.
So I can't gauge anyone's appearance properly.
Interesting. Very cool.
And I got an 8.
Yeah, still got a success.
Nice.
You've seen this particular rotting corpse before.
This person is somebody that you have seen in the Sabbat courts. Oh. They are able to go back and forth like you guys kind of can, but they don't really belong to Elena. This person is a follower of Set, and you can tell from their Egyptian tattoos that would be where their clan.
Interesting.
And they seem to be undergoing a Bahari ritual.
I whisper to the rest of the group that the Setites have vast supernatural knowledge and occult knowledge. Thank you, Tabletop Anthologies, for the raiding party of 7. Great to see everyone here.
Magnifique.
I love a good raid.
Hello, Severian. Thank you.
Well, Elena leaves this guy hanging and hands the poker off to one of her subordinates and comes to speak with you guys.
Perfect.
He makes no effort to wipe any blood off of her whatsoever.
As is best. Yeah, that's when I start pushing Dahlia forward.
I don't need to be pushed forward because I'm going to walk right up and say, Elena, I love your whole operation here. I do have some information for you, and I immediately tell her what went on because I'm so excited to get on her good side that I tell her everything. I'm like, this is all what happens, and I am very interested in what is going on here. Why is this man strung up in this wonderful fashion?
He wanted to be.
Ooh. This I am interested in.
Bahari believed that it is through pain that you learn the important lessons of life, and the closer you bring yourself to death and the more pain you inflict on yourself, the greater the lesson you can learn. So he's learning lessons, and I am helping him learn those lessons.
You hear that, Victor?
Perhaps I can help with some of those sometimes. My sire was a specialist in such things.
Ah, yeah. I would love to swap ideas sometime. But she is very interested in the information that you guys have about Diana. She wants to know more about her, so she will definitely be sending you guys back to the next seance. But she also would like to know if you guys would be able and interested in following up with Diana on a night that is not a seance night to see what she does the rest of the month, to find out more about who she is and where she comes from and why she's really doing this.
Absolutely. She seemed like good company.
I am highly interested in anything that has people willing to be tortured.
Elena is always very interested in extending her protection to newcomers, especially newcomers who seem to be alone.
Yeah, I don't get along with most, but I think I might have a couple talents that would be quite fun. Oh, and I will tell you that that lady, she's interesting. She's pretty much scamming them, but she has a little ulterior motive behind it, so.
Her powers are
That's
not.
what we're interested in. What that ulterior motive is.
She keeps talking about their house.
Hmm.
Yeah, her powers are very interesting and outside of the normal of what I've seen.
Some people would say that about Elena. All right. Well, if you guys would like to head back to your clock tower and decide what you guys want to do, Elena is like, I gotta get back to this ritual. This guy needs to learn the important lessons that he's asked with help. So I need to go poke.
Normally, I would ask if the blood was up for grabs, but I don't think I want to sample a Setite's blood tonight. Not while they're
Yes,
still alive.
I'd like to learn more about these rituals before I do anything in them.
Well, Elena is probably the only vampire that could feed you guys blood without you getting bloodbound too. So there's that
So she claims.
thought. Yeah. But yeah, if you guys ate this guy's blood and he's not going to die, that's not the purpose of this ritual. You would be at least one level bloodbound to him. So don't do that.
It was already full anyway.
Should we just jump forward to meeting with this German man, or do we?
Yeah, let's do that.
Mm-hmm.
He will come to your place of residence the next evening. He doesn't wait very long because he's very anxious to speak with you.
I'll ask the rest of the group if any of them want to come with me, just in case he brings other people or wants to cause trouble.
Mm-hmm. Charlize will come.
I will
I have
come.
nothing better to do? Well, I have some people would be better to do, but
You could start having your letting your people come to the clock tower. There's more than enough room. I think it's 4,500 square feet.
it gives me an excuse to see the theater.
But yeah, what's his name again? I'm sorry.
Conrad Weber.
Weber. But yeah, we'll head down to the ground floor to meet Weber.
He seems relatively distressed. He
Well.
looks at you like he's known you his entire life and is very upset that you don't seem to remember him at all.
Okay. I think this is probably going to require me to make another willpower roll, seeing as I am being confronted with things that my amnesia is forcing me to not remember.
Yeah.
So, I haven't spent any, so what is the difficulty?
He's right here in your face.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna say it's like a difficulty 8.
okay. I'm barely able to hold it together. I got 1 success.
Okay.
Is anything coming?
He asks you, what is the last thing that you remember before you left Germany?
He reaches up and touches his face. And he holds out his shaking hand. Warm blood on my face. A woman's blood. I can't see her face.
He asks you if you remember who your sire was.
No, but I think that I think that's right up the alley with you know what? I think at this point I'm going to actually start spending willpower to try to repress it. So, I'm going to go ahead and mark down 1 willpower and just try to repress and not that's enough breakthroughs for one night.
Did you, Gavin, out of character really quick, did you pick a name for your sire?
I did not. I was thinking something like a German variant of like Sarah or something. I guess Sarah is pretty universal.
Yeah. I'm like, what would be German Sarah? I don't know. Her name's Hilda.
Saria.
At the talk of all the sires, Dahlia just grumbles and looks off to the side and shrinks back a little.
Conrad can see that you are getting yourself distressed, and he doesn't want to push you too hard because he also seems a little afraid of you.
I tell him that I don't think I'm interested in any more of our little talks.
Well, that's too bad because I think we both could have learned some very important information from each other. But it doesn't seem like you're willing to remember. Which is a disappointment.
I pull out my leather glove and sort of shake it in the air and then turn and walk away and beckon for Dahlia and Charlize to and Francois, if he's down here.
He yells at you as you're walking away, but I will see you again, brother. And he leaves.
I spend another willpower. And keep walking. Okay. Thank you for that. That's just what I wanted. Exactly. Repress.
Conceal, don't feel.
Yeah. It's only a matter of time before I fail one of those willpower rolls and bad times happen, so might as well just spend the willpower.
Yeah, it's only the first session. You can save that for next time.
Yeah. All right.
Speaking of that, I
think we don't like sires here either.
I think that is all I have for this evening, and we will continue next week.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Anya. This has been fantastic.
Yeah, that was fun.
Thank
you. Gary.
Very excited for next week.
Yeah.
Yes, although I don't know what other Victorian-esque outfits I have.
Shrappy wants to know what our clans are, so maybe we can go back around.
Yeah, why don't we just go around really quick and you describe your character and their clan and your social media links.
Who would you like
Go
to
ahead,
start?
Morningstar.
Me first. Well, I describe my character. I am playing Francois de Cheverny, He is a nobleman from just before the revolution, but happened to align himself with the Marquis de Sade when it happened, and of course learned a few naughty tricks that way. He's a Toreador, and he has very, very poor self-control. As do I. If you want to see me go wild on social media, do feel free to follow me at the Cytherian on Facebook, or ideally on Instagram or Twitter at the_Cytherian.
The world's most important underscore.
Azalin?
Yes, you can find me anywhere under Azalin. I am right now playing Dahlia. I am a conqueror. I am a dragon. I am Zemeske. How do you say it? I can't say it. But I am a dragon, and I will conquer anything. And I'm pretty excited about being around Francois, who's very shiny, but I can't hoard him.
He cannot be ordered. He belongs to the world. That the French accent's falling apart. Steady.
Lilith?
I am playing Charlize, creepy Crawley. She was originally part of a vampire herd with her lover, but the lover refused to turn her, so in an attempt to be with that person forever, sought out other vampires to turn her, but unfortunately it was a Nosferatu, so things didn't work out so well.
Aww.
And now she is deformed, massive, and too ashamed to try to find her lover again.
Okay.
But all kinds of shenanigans shouldn't happen because now she's addicted to all kinds of drugs and substances from being an absolutely horrendously awful hunter. And I'm the editor as well as the photographer for the Morningstar content, so I don't currently have my links for my personal work up at this time, but if you would like to view any of the work that I do, you can just go to any of the Morningstar links previously listed.
I'm Gavin. My character is a Malkavian, and his name is Felix Gross. He is a German wealthy multi-potentialite, and this is my first Malkavian ever, so I'm trying to play them as well as I possibly can. Yeah, I am at Gavin the GM on Twitter. We also, Anya and I also run Balsamic Games, which is this channel, and that is at Balsamic Games on Twitter. Anya?
Yeah, I'm Anya. I have been the storyteller this evening and will continue to be the storyteller for the month of March. When we come back after March, we'll be back to playing Children of Midnight Coven, the game that Gavin and I are writing together. And let's see, you can find me on Twitter at Anya T. Moore. And I will be back here on Fridays playing Animal Crossing. Ooh.
Awesome. And everyone's social media links will also be in the credits that we'll play shortly.
Yes. Thank you guys so much for being here and for making my first game session in about 5 years as small pain as possible. Bear with me as I get my thank you. Bear with me as I get my GMing legs back on. So yeah, thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Have a good night,
darling. Happy Women's Day, darlings. Have a wonderful evening.